Recently, I've been getting a lot of comments asking about tinted moisturizers. So today I want to share my 5 favorite drugstore tinted moisturizers and BB creams. I have super glowy finishes, matte finishes, everything in between, plus options for all skin types. So we're just going to get straight into it. But first, if you're new here, hi, my name is Miranda. Welcome to my channel where we talk all things budget beauty. If that sounds interesting to you, then become the newest member of the Slashed Squad by hitting subscribe and the bell icon. The first product I want to talk about is definitely the lightest out of this entire video in both feel and coverage. This is the Catrice Clean ID BB Cream. This is $10 at Ulta Beauty. This is a vegan formula that's made with 99% natural ingredients. It's also non-comedogenic, so it's great for acne-prone skin. It comes in 7 shades from fair to dark. So as I mentioned, this is an extremely lightweight product. As you apply it, it does sort of feel like you're rubbing water into your skin, and the coverage is extremely light as well. It does not have a lot of pigment to it, but it can help just blur over some dark spots or redness, but you're definitely not going to get concealing with this product. It gives you a pretty naturally radiant finish. It sort of leaves your skin looking like basically you just moisturized. It's definitely not too glowy or dewy. Now this is a fragrance-free BB cream, and what's interesting is that in some of the reviews that I've read about this product, there's always a handful that mention it has an unpleasant smell. Now first of all, with fragrance-free products, sometimes skincare ingredients don't smell great. So that's just sort of the nature of fragrance-free, but also mine doesn't really smell bad. It really just sort of smells like a skincare product. So here's the thing, it's made out of 99% natural ingredients. So I would suspect if yours smells like actually bad, it may have turned, maybe it wasn't stored or shipped properly, and I probably would recommend you exchanging it for a fresh tube. So this is a product that I reach for mostly when my skin is on the clearer side, when I just want something really light, a little bit blurring. And this is a great pick for all skin types when you just want a hint of coverage in a clean, hydrating formula. Next, we have a new drugstore tinted moisturizer that just came out this year. This is the Milani Glow Hydrating Skin Tint. It's $11.99 at Ulta Beauty, and it only comes in 4 shades, but the shade range is supposed to work from fair to deep skin tones. Now again, this product is going to give you very light coverage. It can even out slight discolorations, it can kind of blur imperfections, but it's not going to conceal. However, it is going to give you an ultra dewy finish. The formula is actually made up of 29% squalene, which is a really popular skincare ingredient that prevents moisture loss and locks in hydration. And it's also enhanced with an electrolyte and coconut water blend to hydrate the skin as you wear it. Now, I would really only recommend this particular pick for those of you who have dry skin. Maybe it can fly with normal skin, but for my combo skin, it doesn't necessarily break down in the oily areas, but I definitely get more shiny than I personally prefer once my natural oils come into play with the ultra dewy finish. I would enjoy wearing this more in winter when my skin is just more dry overall. So yeah, this is gonna be the dry skin pick of the video. Next, I wanna talk about one of my favorite drugstore BB creams ever, but of course, as fate would have it, I just decluttered my old tube. This is the Covergirl Clean Matte BB Cream. This one is $9.99. Now I will say, this one has an abysmal shade range. I'm really sorry about that. That's definitely something that the brand can improve on. But the reason why I love this BB cream, not only does it have a really lightweight, comfortable matte finish for those of us who have combo or oily skin, but it's also non-comedogenic and very acne skin friendly. Not only because of the formula, but because of the coverage. You can actually conceal acne with this BB cream. So like I said, I just threw out my old tube, but I do have footage from a couple years ago of me applying this, and I think you can really get a feel for how much coverage I'm getting here. I feel like this looks like a foundation while feeling like a BB cream, and it really just smooths out the skin as well. For a matte product, it does not accentuate texture. The next Drugstore Tinted Moisturizer that I have loved since the moment I put it on my face, this is the L'Oreal Skin Paradise Water Infused Tinted Moisturizer. This one is $16.99, so a little bit pricey on the drugstore spectrum. This one has 12 shades from fair to deep. Now what's interesting about this formula is that it is 70% water. So it really sinks into the skin to both feel and look natural, and when you're applying it, it almost feels like you're applying a serum. I do have an entire video on this, so I will link that below. I do a wear test with it as well. This is one of the 2 products in this video that I'm mentioning that has SPF. It's broad spectrum SPF 19. Now this does have a relatively dewy finish. I think that it might be too much if you have oily skin, but for my combo skin, especially if I decide to set it with powder in my T-zone, this could last up to 8 hours with no patchiness or smearing. One thing to note though is that the colors do oxidize. I would suggest going one shade lighter than you think you are. And the last product I want to talk about today is technically a drugstore foundation. However, I feel like this performs way more to the tune of a BB cream, so I did want to include it. This is the Physicians Formula Natural Defense Sheer Line of Defense Foundation. Full price, this is $15.99. However, it's always like half price at Ulta as well as Amazon. Now, ironically enough, for Physicians Formula, this product actually has the best shade range out of any of the products that I mentioned today. It has 12 shades that range from fair to deep. Now, the reason why I feel like this performs similarly to a product that I would consider a BB cream is because of the emphasis on the fusion between skincare and makeup. So this is obviously a foundation. It actually offers a pretty solid medium coverage. This can almost fully conceal most of my dark spots, and it will blur over any angry looking pimples. It also has broad spectrum SPF 30 for sun protection, RPF, which is actually blue light protection. That's becoming really popular in skincare with all of the increased screen use nowadays, as well as PPF, which is pollution defense. So the coverage does start out light, but like I said, it's buildable to about medium, and you get a very natural finish that is on the satin side. So I do feel like this would work for most skin types. The Natural Defense line from Physicians Formula also has finishing powders that are tinted and have all the same protection benefits that I really like. And I did do a full video and wear test of the line where I set one side of my face and I left one side unset. So I will link that below if you want to see how this performs throughout the day. I wanted to finish off this video with a couple tips on using tinted moisturizers and BB creams. Specifically, I always see in the online reviews of products like the ones I mentioned today that people have issues with pilling, which is when the pigment sort of balls up and flakes off the face. 9 times out of 10, this usually happens when you're using a tinted moisturizer that is water-based, like these 3 that I mentioned today, over a moisturizer or primer that is silicone-based. With water-based products, they're meant to sink and melt into the skin so that they look natural, but if you're using something with silicone beforehand, that's creating a barrier on your skin. So these have nowhere to go but slip and slide all over your face. And my second tip is if you want to retain the most amount of coverage from these products, and you probably saw this as I was applying them throughout the video, use your hands to apply them first, especially with the products that are ultra light and pretty thin in consistency. So like the Catrice and the Milani from this video, I would apply them to my face, blend it in with my fingers to the best of my ability, and then I'll go in with a sponge to just blend out any streakiness. That way, most of the product does end up on my face instead of absorbed by my sponge. What is your favorite drugstore BB cream or tinted moisturizer and why? Let me know in the comments below. Today's shout out goes to Jen. Thanks for being a member of the Slashed Squad. And join me over in this video next where I play with drugstore makeup that I should have tried sooner. I'll see you over there. Bye!